Okay, the Packers and the Steelers, that's Sunday Night Football that we have this week. Packers traveling to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Steelers very different on offense lately than what they were to start the season. Dalton, talk to me about the Steelers offense, and then I'll talk a little bit about the Packers on their side of things.
Absolutely. I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers is playing against the Green Bay Packers for the first time in his career, so the spotlight, regardless of how he came into this game playing, was going to be on him. But his last 3 games, he's playing pretty darn well. He got off to a slow start early in the year, wasn't throwing the ball downfield very well, but that's changed in the past couple weeks. You've seen him getting rid of the football in his usual timely fashion and attacking downfield more often. His last 3 games, 81.7 passing grades, 7 big-time throws, 2 turnover-worthy plays, and a 1.5 yard higher average depth of target than his first 3 games where he was really struggling. He's gotten hot. It certainly was not his fault that they lost to the Bengals this past Thursday. Just got into a shootout, and Joe Flacco was one or two plays better than he was and ended up having the ball last. So I think when you look at this Steelers team in the passing game, they've still been struggling to find a consistent running game. It showed flashes, especially with Jalen Warren. The offensive tackle situation still isn't great, but Aaron Rodgers has gotten into a rhythm over the past couple weeks, and he's doing it at the right time. And I'll tell you, he's going to have to get rid of the football quickly again, like he always does, because Micah Parsons against these offensive tackles might be unstoppable again this week.
On the Packers side of things, this game, the game script for what we think is going to happen in this game is going to be very interesting because, yeah, you talked about it there. The Steelers' offensive line has been really struggling throughout the season, at least at certain points. Rodgers Jones has been struggling specifically. They're going to be able to stick Micah Parsons wherever he is most advantageous. And I feel as though it's going to be one of those games where Aaron Rodgers is going to have to get the ball out of his hand pretty quickly. And with that being the case, I just don't know if he's going to have the continued success that he has when that's been the case over the last 3 weeks. Instead, I feel as though this is going to be one of the lower offensive output games, and along with Aaron Rodgers playing better, you saw Jalen Warren play better. I feel like the Packers are going to be able to defend the run a little bit better against the Steelers. I just overall like the Packers front against the Steelers offensive line when it comes to the rushing attack and how quickly they can put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. I just don't know how potent they're going to be on offense with that being the case. But then on the other side of things, the Steelers defensive line is just as, if not more, ferocious than the Green Bay Packers is. And then when you look at, okay, what's Jordan Love been like under pressure? Well, he hasn't been good this season. 44.0 passing grade under pressure, that's 26th. He's got no touchdowns. He's got 1 interception when he's under pressure. He's got 3 big-time throws, but he also has 3 turnover-worthy plays. He also hasn't been under pressure a ton. 74 total snaps that he has been under pressure. That's 20th most in the NFL. And so it's sort of one of these situations where I don't know what version of Jordan Love under pressure we're going to get. And this Steelers defensive line has shown us throughout this season they are one of the best cohesive units at getting after the quarterback. And if they're able to do that, it's kind of a coin flip of whether or not Jordan Love is going to give you the big-time throw that makes all the difference in the world or the turnover-worthy play that could be backbreaking. Instead, on the other side of things, I think this has got to be a big Josh Jacobs day. Like, I think that Josh Jacobs really has to allow them to stay balanced, really got to keep the Steelers' pass rushers on their heels a little bit, not give them as much of a green light. So, to me, the X factor in this one, obviously Jordan Love, because he touches the ball every single play, his play is going to matter the most, but how much they can rely on Josh Jacobs to march them down the field, I think is going to be huge in this game. I almost took the Steelers in this one, but thinking about how quickly Micah Parsons might be able to just single-handedly destroy plays against Rodgers Jones or whoever's going to struggle against the Steelers offensive line, I am still going to take the Packers in this one. I'm going to take the Packers winning on the road 23-17. That's the score I'm going with.
Yeah, this game's going to get weird just because of the circumstances and everything surrounding it with Rodgers playing against Green Bay. I'm with you, though. I think you said the best point there. You saved it for last with Josh Jacobs. Yeah, the Steelers' run defense has been very inconsistent this year, and it was not good at all against Cincinnati last Thursday. If the Packers can keep themselves in good down-and-distance situations and not just let that Steelers pass rush pin their ears back, they're at a huge advantage in this game, especially with some of the Steelers' struggles at cornerback as well and how many options that the Packers Packers have to throw the football on the outside. I do think the Steelers absolutely have a chance if they can get the Packers on offense behind the chains. And then I think it's got to be a heavy DK Metcalf day against the Packers cornerbacks if they're going to win. He's been getting a heavy target share lately. It's been really good for the most part lately. I'm going to take the Packers by a field goal. I'm with you. I think Josh Jacobs and the ability for the Packers at times to control the pace of the game instead of getting in this shootout where the Steelers pass rush is teeing off on them, that makes a big difference. One team can run the ball at a solid clip with an elite running back. The other, it's been a lot more inconsistent running and stopping the run.